LASER is an acronym for Light Amplification by Stimulated Emission of Radiation. Laser is the mechanism of a device that emits electromagnetic radiation, usually in the form of light that cannot be seen or can be seen with the normal eye through a process of stimulated emission. The emission generally covers an extremely limited range of visible, infrared, or ultraviolet wavelengths. Many different types of laser have been developed, with highly varied characteristics. At spectrum of wave, the laser operates in the visible spectrum at a frequency of approximately 400 until 789 terahertz, and the wavelength is about 700 nanometer until 400 nanometer. The size of laser wave is approximately equivalent to bacteria. In 1951, Charles Hart Towns, then at Columbia University in New York City, thought a way to generate stimulated emission at microwave frequencies. At the end of 1953, he demonstrated a working device that focused excited ammonia molecules in a resonant microwave cavity, where they emitted a pure microwave frequency. Towns named the device a measure for microwave amplification by the stimulated emission of radiation. An intense burst of master research followed in the mid of 1950, but master found only a limited range of application as low noise microwave amplifiers and atomic clocks. In 1957, Towns proposed to his brother-in-law and former postdoctoral student at Columbia University, Arthur Schawlow, that they tried to extend master action to the much shorter wavelength of infrared or visible light. Towns also had discussion with a graduate student at Columbia University, Gordon Gloud, who quickly developed his own laser ideas. Towns and Schawlow published the ideas for an optical measure in a seminar paper in the December 15, 1958. The town's shallow proposal led several groups to try building a laser. The gold proposal became the basis of a classified military contract. Success came first to Theodore H. Maiman, who took a different approach at Hughes Research Laboratories in Malibu, California. He fired bright pulse from a photographer's flash lamp to excite chromium atoms in a crystal of synthetic ruby, a material he chose because he had studied carefully how it absorbed and emitted light and calculated that it should work as a laser. Laser emission is shaped by the rules of quantum mechanics, which limits atoms and molecules to having discrete amounts of stored energy that depend on the nature of the atom or molecule. The lowest energy level for an individual atom occurs when its electrons are all in the nearest possible orbit to its nucleus. This condition is called the ground state. When one or more of an atom's electrons have absorbed energy, they can move to outer orbits, and the atom is then referred to as being excited. Excited states are generally not stable, as electrons drop from higher energy to lower energy levels. They emit the extra energy as light. The application of laser beam in daily life is LASIK surgeon. The surgeon will give eye drops to make your eyes feel numb when the procedure is done. An eyelid support is then placed to keep the eyes open and prevent blinking. Aside from the support, the surgeon will also place a suction ring on the eye to prevent the eye from moving. After that, the surgeon starts making small incision on the surface of the eyeball using a small scalpel or laser. This incision will then form a fold in the cornea. The surgery aims to change the shape of the cornea to be repaired as needed. Once done, the cornea will be closed again, and in a matter of minutes, the fold will stick by itself, without the need for stitches. Finally, eye drops are given to help cure. next chapter is fiber optic. Fiber optic is a transmission line or a kind of cable made of glass or plastic that is very smooth and smaller than a hair and can be used to transmit light signal from one place to another. Light source that usually used is laser or LED. The main parts of the optical fiber are the core, where light waves propagate, the cladding layer surrounding the cores with a refractive index smaller than the core, and an elastic plastic jacket layer to protect the cord and blankets. The concept of light transmission has existed since the early 1840s when French inventors Daniel Colladon and Jacques Babinet demonstrated the wielding of light over distance by refraction. Approximately 10 years later, Irish inventor John Tyndall performed a similar demonstration using water fountains. These early experiments led to the development of television, when Scottish inventor John Logie Bart demonstrated the transmission of moving image at the London Institute. In 1952, UK-based physicist Narinder Singh Kapani invented the first actual fiber optical cable, based on John Tyndall experiments 3 decades earlier. 13 years later, two British research scientists, Charles Cow and George Hockman, working with standard telephone and cable, discovered that attenuation of fiber optics was caused by impurities in manufacturing. If the attenuation could be lowered sufficiently, they theorized fiber optic could be used as a practical means of communication. The mechanism of fiber optic is a beam of light will be used as the carrier of the information you want to send. This information light then fired onto the fiber optic media from where it came from. Then the light will penetrate the cover of the glass media until finally the light had arrived at the destination location. Then there is a process of communication. In the field of medicine, there are also several tools that utilize optical fibers such as endoscope. Endoscope is a tool used in endoscopic examination. This tool is in the form of a small long pipe that can be inserted into the body, for example, into the stomach, into joints, or into other body cavities. In the pipe, there are two optical fibers. One is to produce light so that the body parts in front of the endoscope are clearly visible, while the other fibers function as a conduit of image captured by the camera.